Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an exciting episode of Behind the Banter, our third installment. Shout out to Cody and Steph. He said she was watching as well, so it's a special hello to you guys. As always, this is BK and this is
JVD. Cheers.
And he has a message for the fellas.
I have a message for the fellas.
Yes, you do.
This episode is brought to you by our good friends at Old Style, the Chicago Classic.
Sure.
We are not in any way affiliated or sponsored by Old Style. However, if Old Style is watching, we are open to your sponsorship.
Yeah, it looked like you forgot what you were about to say for a second.
Caught me off guard there for a second, but yeah.
So,
Us Chicago boys, we love ourselves some Old Style. Get some hate every now and then, but
I don't understand it.
I can't. Probably people that like Michelob Ultra.
I'm gonna knock it off. So I'm gonna get right into the word hate, because if you are familiar with the word hate, you're probably familiar with the name Zach Hample. And Zach Hample, he found himself in some controversy. Little JVD over here is not familiar with Zach Hample, so I'll give you a little refresher. So Zach Hample is that guy. He's about 40-something years old, almost 50. He goes to all these games, and he goes and he catches foul balls. He'll just, you'll see videos of him running around the stadium, going around, trying to catch balls, home runs. He'll go to games. There's even a military game at Fort Bragg's, right, where it was supposed to be military personnel and family only.
Mm-hmm.
He got in because he put a Tinder thing up around the area saying how he's a famous YouTuber and he needs to get in, and someone should take him as a platonic date, is what he said in his bio. So he got in there. Yeah, anyways, he got a home run there. He wrote a few books, this, that, doesn't matter. Total bum. I hate you, Zach Hample. I hope you're watching. But the reason I bring this up is because a YouTuber I like, his name's Fuzzy. If you're familiar with him. Yeah, Fuzzy makes MLB The Show videos, just baseball updates. And his editor made a video on Zach Hample, quote, the most hated fan in baseball. You can go look that up. And what Zach Hample did was he disregarded the fair use copyright, and he put a strike on it, so the guy had to remove his video and could have potentially lost his channel. And then all these creators ganged up on him and then made him rescind the strike. So they basically bullied the guy who's just pretty much just getting bullied the whole time. So
all my homies hate Zach Hample.
Everyone hates Zach Hample. We are a Zach Hample hating channel.
So I'm unfamiliar with his antics.
That's a good thing.
So basically, at a high level, he goes to baseball games all over the country, and he does everything he can in his power to get foul balls and home runs. Mm-hmm. Correct?
Yep.
Would he even go as far as, let's say,
knocking a kid over,
taking a ball out of a kid's glove?
He literally looks like a spaz. You'll see him get over, and he'll run. I'll show you some videos after this, but he'll run across the so say he's in right field and it's hit about 20 feet away from him. You will see him sprinting through the aisles to get to that ball and jumping in the crowds and getting in front of people. I don't know how the guy doesn't get punched. I don't understand how he doesn't get body slammed or something, but it's quite ridiculous that a grown 40-plus-year-old man does that.
I wonder if he wears a glove.
You know the answer to that.
He sure does.
Yes, he does.
Probably a big outfield mitt, too.
Yeah.
Even a first baseman's glove. To get as much room as you can to get the ball in there.
One of those comical, the really big mitts with the size of the table.
The big hats.
Yeah.
So, besides that, what kind of books does he write?
He just talks about him catching balls.
That's he writes books about that?
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to read about catching balls. You're pretty familiar with that.
I'm gonna
Hey-o.
Zinger.
Yeah,
as the kid said.
That is what a zinger might be.
Let's see. I'm gonna search up how many balls has Zach Hample.
I know the answer. It's over 3,000.
Well, he claims.
Oh, it's a claim. Fact check him here. Come on now.
It's wow, folks. 12,000 baseballs.
I was sorely mistaken.
Hample claims to have collected more than 12,000 baseballs from Major League stadiums, including Alex Rodriguez's 3,000th career hit, Mike Trout's first career home run. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That's kind of nuts. I mean,
it's cool, but
Hample has been criticized by sports writers, players, and fans due to his aggressive tactics to collect baseballs.
White Sox legend and current roster man, until he gets traded, Tommy Pham has had quite a lot to say about Zach Hample.
He sounds like a terrible guy.
Okay, here's my opinion when it comes to catching balls at games. If it's a milestone home run and that ball could potentially be worth money,
Yeah, sure.
like the 3,000th homer or the first homer of Trout, even though no one knew what Trout was going to be when he first got in,
Right.
you keep that because there's trade value where you can get tickets, signed items, whatever. If you catch just a random home run of some guy and there's no implication, give it to a kid.
Yeah.
And like you're really 40.
Agreed.
Yeah, like come on, you're 40 years old. Like just why you got to be running around? Just enjoy the game, man.
I mean, yeah, it kind of takes away from like the joy of going to a game as a kid. Like, you know, you go to a game and you just
a joy to going to kids.
No, a joy.
What are you saying?
I'm not saying that. This guy, he's got his mind in the gutter always. I mean, if you watch the first two episodes, he's just like he's always thinking the worst. You can't get anything by this guy, but it takes the joy away from going to a game because as a kid, I'm sure you're the same way. You're bringing your glove to the game. You want to catch a ball.
I actually have never brought a glove to a game.
Even as a little kid.
No.
Well, I did as a kid. I'm sure a lot of people have as a kid. It's a fun thing to do. You want to bring a glove. You're like, you never know when it might be my opportunity to catch a ball. And then, you know, you make a good catch. Everybody looks at you, they're like cheering you on. You get a little shout out on the broadcast. You got Book Shyambi being on, what a catch. Look at that kid.
I almost...
Get on SportsCenter top 10? Come on.
No. I was at a...
Never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Come on. Don't Sopranos me. I was at a White Sox-Angels game, and Mike Trout hit a foul ball back right around the first baseline. It bounced, and it hit a person right in front of me, and I almost got it. I probably would have kept that, just because it was Mike Trout.
Yeah. See,
if it's Trout or Ohtani, I get it.
Yeah,
but like,
it's a cool thing.
Another time I only got 2 other balls ever. One was some random game. I was sitting by the away dugout, and Gavin Sheets hit a single, and they gave it to the authenticator, and I was talking with the guy the whole game. It's like the 7th inning, and I'm like, hey, give me the ball. I'm like, come on, let me see it.
Dude,
and then he just looks left, right, and he tosses me it. So I got a Gavin Sheets single.
Kind of sounds like something Zach Hample would do.
Hey, don't be doing that.
Wow.
And the other one was I got a White Sox 2021 Game 4 against the Astros, a Cesar Hernandez foul ball.
That's worth negative money.
I honestly, I played catch with it.
It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing to get a ball at a game. But if I'm not mistaken, Cesar Hernandez was on the White Sox a couple years ago.
2021.
So you decided
it was
not
like
to
the
give it to a
trade
kid?
deadline, and then
You decided to keep the ball for yourself and not give it to a child.
well, there's no kids around us.
Sure.
It's a playoff game. That's where the real players come out.
Sure. Sounds like Zach Hample.
And we were
Sounds like something Zach Hample would say.
They made an extension to the field by the home dugout, so it was like normally it cuts off here, and they had like a glass plastic thing that cut out, and I was sitting front row there, so I couldn't even get out without going through multiple gates.
Sure.
So there was like just a bunch of adults, but like who am I gonna give it to?
Whatever makes you.
No one's old, no one's younger than me by where I was.
Whatever helps you sleep at night. So.
What have you ever catch it? You ever catch it?
I've never caught a ball at a ball game. I've caught a foul ball at a single A game before. Kane County Cougars represent.
I did too.
Kane County Cougars represent. If you're from the Illinois area, you know all about the Kane County Cougars. Some former greats have, gone through the system there.
Who?
Miguel Cabrera.
Is he really?
He was a Kane County Cougar back in the day. They used to be affiliate of the Marlins.
I didn't know that. That's actually super cool.
So Miguel Cabrera, I did go to a game as a kid, which is pretty cool. Aramis Ramirez was doing a rehab. He's a good ball player. Solid
Cubs
career.
legend.
Cubs legend. Him and Reed Johnson were both doing a rehab assignment at the same time, and they both had one game in single A, Kane County, and yeah, it was a packed stadium. It was cool, like sold out. Single A game. It was cool.
I remember I got an autographed ball there. I didn't know who any of the players were, but I was so hyped because I was like 7.
I got an autographed ball there too before, and yeah, you have a ball and you're like going, you're like having them sign it, and you're like, this is so cool. And like you see my dad, he's just like, these people who are these guys?
I got a good story. You saying Miguel Cabrera remind me of this. We were it was when I was in college. We were at a Tigers White Sox game.
Mm-hmm.
Moncada had 5 hits, sick. Or it was the day after. I don't know. He had a good game. He had 4 or 5 hits. But, Raz, obviously.
Yep.
Raz was quite under the influence where he's flailing around, just yelling. And Javier Baez, when they get off the field after making a play and they throw the ball in the crowd?
Yeah, sure.
Javier Baez looks right at me. I'm like, yo, Javi. And I, raise my hands up. And he looks at me and he's throwing. It's about to come to my hands. And this drunk dude Raz, he just starts spazzing out and he tries to like jump in front of me and catch it and he two hands swats it like forward and I'm pretty sure it hit a lady. And I'm like, dude, like come on. I would have given it to a kid anyways.
Oh,
but like,
sure. We know your track record with that. So
I just wanted to catch the ball. I was like, that's sick.
If Javi Baez threw me a ball, I would keep it.
I would give it to someone because I don't really care for Javi.
I love Javi Baez. Big Cubs fan, obviously. He's one of my favorite players to watch, even though he's had a up and down career.
Yeah, he had 2 homers, I think, today and yesterday.
I mean, whatever. Yeah, he's still batting like barely over 200.
Yeah, he's not very good.
That's tough, but what a fun player. I mean, he's just like so much energy. You know, people go to the stadium and they want to see Javi Baez, you know, hit a walk-off or...
I don't understand why White Sox fans boo him. Every time he comes up to the plate, a guaranteed rate, he gets booed.
One of the best Javi Baez stories I have.
Ooh.
I was at a game. This may have been around 20... year before they won the World Series, probably 2015. I was at a Cubs game on Mother's Day with my mother and my family. And all the players were, you know, in their pink... using their pink bats, pink catcher's gear, pink gloves. Pretty cool. Game goes to extra innings versus the Nationals. Bryce Harper is on a tear. Bryce Harper gets intentionally walked 4 times that game.
That's so crazy.
Who's behind? Bryce Harper's hitting third. Who's behind him? Ryan Zimmerman, who's having a historically bad stretch. So we walked Bryce Harper 4 times intentionally, and Ryan Zimmerman went 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. So that worked out. We ended up going to extra innings, and none other than Javi Baez swats a walk-off home run into the stands.
Exciting.
Awesome. If you've never been to a baseball game where there's been a walk-off home run, I'm sorry. That is, especially your team. Like, that is just the coolest thing. And on Mother's Day, sold-out crowd. It's awesome.
Yeah. I've seen a couple walk-offs. I watched, there was a game where when Shane Bieber was really in his prime and Carlos Rodon was on the Sox, it was a 0-0 game. Both of them went 8 scoreless innings, and then Daniel Palka walk-off. And then
what a pull.
I went to a random game. It was like a day game on a Saturday during our playoff stretch, 2021, and Brian Goodwin. You remember him? Yeah, he I'm walking up the aisle to grab something, and he just swats a homer. Everyone's going nuts. A walk-off homer, one of the most exciting plays in all sports.
I was at a game earlier this year when the Cubs were hot. So it was a while ago. Probably in May. It was a Tuesday night game in Wrigley. Me and a couple buddies are in the bleachers. And
we're going... Padres game?
Yeah. Padres. So I'm in the right field bleachers. Tatis is out there and right. Getting chirped all game. It's awesome. Everyone's yelling at him. He's like looking at the fans going like this. Just like, he embraces it, which I respect. I like that. He just stands there. He like looks at them. He just stands there. Everyone's like yelling at him. He just stands there and he just like nods his head. Pretty top G move right there. But anyways, we get to the bottom of the 9th. It's a 1-1 ball game. And Michael Busch comes up to the plate. And the rain starts pouring. First pitch of the bottom of the 9th, Busch just ropes one into the right field bleachers for the walk-off. Oh, what a night that was. That was awesome.
You invited me to that. I just couldn't make it.
Yeah, sure.
Dude, I'll pull up the text, man. We'll find
he didn't want to go because he's a Sox fan.
It was a weekday night game. I'm pretty sure or something.
But yeah, which is nice for us living around Wrigley, so we can do stuff like that. But that was one of the better games I've ever been to. Yeah. Especially, it was just so much. It was so cool, and the rain started pouring, and then first pitch in the bottom of the 9th, gone.
Speaking of pouring in Dollar Tree parking lots, our boy Reese McGuire, White Sox legend. If you don't know the backstory, he got caught jorking his peanuts in a Dollar Tree or Dollar General, whatever you want to call it, parking lot. And this weekend, the Red Sox were playing the Rockies, and Cal Quantrill was chirping, Reese McGuire was chirping Cal Quantrill when he was going to first base. And he said, "Shut up, you masturbated in a parking lot and the benches cleared." And that might be the best reason I have ever heard for the benches cleared in a baseball game, because that is hilarious.
You just can't do that. I mean,
which one, chirp him or do it?
No, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
I don't. Clarify.
I mean, for a grown man to do that in the parking lot of a Dollar General, not even like Macy's, you know. I'm joking. No parking lot is acceptable to do that. But What a comeback! I mean, you're never gonna live that down.
He came back already.
No, you can't.
Hey-o.
You can't. You get caught for that, it becomes public news. Like, dude, you're always known as that guy.
Yeah, that's
you're always.
It's quite a reputation.
You're always known as that guy, so that's tough. I mean, nothing really else to be said about that. You can't do that. That's a crime. And yeah, you should get chirped for it.
Yeah, he's not the most elite player ever. So
No, he's.
I mean, if you're able to like come back after having a problem like that,
No,
like
no.
I mean, catcher is a premium position though.
I understand, but you have that label. You're labeled as that guy now.
Yeah, that is very true.
That does suck for
And,
him. But what can you do?
Yeah,
It is what it is.
Staying on the track of baseball, just in general, July 31st is the deadline, and we actually have had quite a plethora of moves already. The most interesting one by far was Randy Arozarena to the Mariners.
Last night around midnight. Today, by the way, is Friday.
Yeah.
Last night, I guess early Friday morning, we got the notification, Jeff Passan.
The GOAT.
Yeah, go. Short king. Just like Brian.
Embrace it.
Yeah, Arozarena to the Mariners.
Yeah, he was there's a video of him in the stands of the Rays game watching as a fan, and his wife or girlfriend or whoever's on his right-hand side is just crying.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Obviously, you've established a life in Tampa Bay, or any athlete for that matter, when you get traded. But I don't know. Tampa Bay was never gonna. They're always, especially over like the last couple of years, like they've had a team. They've competed, but
They're not afraid to trade guys when they know it's
they're not afraid to trade guys. But they are afraid to drop money.
Yeah, they're afraid. They're not afraid to trade, but they are afraid to pay.
They are afraid to pay. So that's a tough situation for Rays fans to be in, because you want to see your team win a World Series, obviously, but when the owner and GM don't want to spend the money to do that, tough situation. And now you have your best player gone.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he's been having a pretty awful year.
Yeah,
But he's still a really good player.
I mean, the guy's just clutch.
Yeah,
you get him in the playoffs, that guy's gonna make things happen, even if he bats 0 on the season. That's just the kind of guy he is. When the pressure's the highest, that guy performs his best.
I think he has like the record for the most total bases in a postseason.
He's just, I wouldn't be surprised. I remember when they were in that 2020 World Series, he stole home.
It came up on the Immaculate Draft.
That's exciting.
If any of you baseball fans out there want a good game to play the Immaculate Draft. It's just like 9 trivia questions for baseball. Very tough trivia questions, but one the other day was.
It's 10, right? Because isn't there a
10,
DH?
yeah, and the DH. No, but there's no pitcher.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
there's
that
9.
makes sense.
But he was on there. One of the trivia questions was who has like the postseason record for most total bases, and I got the answer incorrect. But now I know. It is Randy Arozarena.
Who'd you guess?
I don't remember who I guessed.
Probably, I would guess a Yankee.
I think I guessed A-Rod.
It's a good
Just
guess.
like, yeah, I mean, put it out there.
Just someone who's been there a lot.
You never know.
The
Yeah,
more you're
that's what I
there,
figured.
the more games you play.
But in one post, yeah, but you forget about, what year was that Arozarena went off? Was that
2020 is when they made the World Series.
Yeah.
That COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Everyone says the Dodgers could win a Mickey Mouse title, but it's like anyone could have won that. Thing is, you won it.
Mickey Mouse title.
Everyone was in the same situation, the
LeBron.
same scenario. They won it. You didn't. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's facts.
And Justin Turner he actually wasn't able to play one of the World Series games because he's under COVID protocol. If you remember that. That was an immaculate draft question.
Yep. That was... What a crazy time that was. Back in the days of COVID. Look how far we've come as a country.
Now you have Austin Hayes being traded to the Phillies in exchange for Sir Anthony Dominguez and Christian Pache.
Cool name.
Austin Hayes?
No. Sir Anthony.
I think that's a good trade.
Yeah, I mean, that's like a I mean, give us something big, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's coming.
Give us something big. We don't want to be talking about Austin Hayes.
Yimi Garcia went
sure.
to the Mariners.
But I mean, the Rays also dealt another one of their pitchers. They dealt
Eflin, the Orioles.
Yeah, so Rays are unloading.
I'm sure they're just gonna get rid of. I don't know who else they'd get rid of besides like Eflin and maybe Fairbanks. I don't know.
Fairbanks is a good reliever.
Yeah, that's why I think he can get something. Like
I don't know.
They know when to trade people at their peak value, and like the thing was with Glass now, they trade him. That makes sense to me. because it's the Rays first and foremost, but the second of all is with Glasnow's injury history. You're instead of taking the gamble of him losing all his value, you're going to trade him while he has some.
Yeah.
And Ryan Pepiot, pretty decent. Johnny DeLuca, I mean, it's just I don't think he's going to be anything much more than a role player, but like you need role players on teams.
Yep, you sure do. So that's all we've got. We were hoping for some more big news, but hopefully next week.
I've heard some rumors. One about the Sox, one about the Cubs. The Cubs one first is I heard they were taking some calls on Seiya Suzuki.
Oh.
And second, we'll talk about this right after I bring this point up. Garrett Crochet for the White Sox. He went out and he explicitly said, or his agent said, he got questioned about it at a press conference, and he's like, I'm focused on pitching, which to me, it sounds like he wants to get paid or he wants to stay. But he said he will not pitch in the postseason if he gets traded, if he does not get a contract extension. And he also mentioned that those 5 days of routine as a starter is what is best for his body, and he refuses to go to the bullpen if they ask. And he was in the bullpen from 2021 up until before this year.
I feel like a team would have to be crazy to trade for him and put him in the bullpen.
The
way he's pitched. I mean, he's proven himself as a good starter.
A good starter?
Exactly.
He's a Cy Young candidate.
Well, yeah.
Dude, statistically, with WAR, like every stat backs it up.
Sure, but I don't know why, that, okay, that proves my point. Like, why would a team ever put him in the bullpen?
Because he's had very good numbers in his career from the pen.
I get that, but he's proven this year that he can be
great
starter.
I know, but he went out of his way to say it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go to the bullpen. I think a team would have to be real stupid to put him in the bullpen.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think you're real stupid to pay a guy like that. The only concern is he's never pitched a full season, and this is his most innings. But the thing is, what you've seen is, I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to trade for a guy like that.
And then my counterpoint to like him being like, yeah, like if I'm gonna get traded, like I want a contract, I'm not gonna pitch, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, imagine you go to a contender, and you have a great second half of the season, and then you get to the postseason and you dominate. You might have earned yourself an extra, however many $1 million on your next contract. So, I mean, either I understand. I mean, everybody wants their security.
Yeah.
But he does have the opportunity, if he goes to a contender and pitches really well in the playoffs, to take his contract from here to here. So
devil's advocate, though, is since he never hit that inning mark, say
injury.
His arm gives out and he needs to be shut down for the season by the staff, then he can't be used in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like, technically, that could bring his money down. So I think he's looking for that fine in between. Because the thing is, it's not like he's in an expiring contract. He's under contract till, I believe, 2026. So you get 2 full seasons of him besides this half season. So you get 2.5 years of a starting pitcher who's really coming into his own.
Yeah. Decisions that teams have to make. This is all part of the deadline, but I still think that he's going to get dealt. That's my... I mean, I saw Jeff Passan tweet earlier today. He's like, it seems to be more and more that he might not get traded, but I'm still thinking that he will.
Yeah, unless he gets traded in the offseason. Because to me, it makes sense with the White Sox drafting Hagen Smith. Like, I mean, you got a good lefty, and you don't have a lot of bats in your organization. Like, the depth. Like, the Sox are on the cusp of having a top 5 farm system. And if you trade even Robert and Crochet, you're guaranteed top 5 with all the top 100s. And then even when they trade Fetty, they trade Tommy Pham, Kopech. Not saying all those guys are going to get top 100s, but the depth for you to be top 5, you need 1 through 30.
Well, they have 5 days to trade all those guys.
Yeah, it'll get exciting. Just wait for... Oh, actually, we just got breaking news right now. Actually, this is completely unrelated.
Live.
Yeah, we need to go to football for this one.
Oh.
Because, I mean, we talked about everything about baseball, but Packers and Jordan Love agree to a 4-year, $220 million contract that makes him the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. And this comes only hours after Tua Tagovailoa gets a 4-year, $212 million extension. So,
what?
The crazy thing is that 2020 quarterback class has made about $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion. Billion with a B. And that is between Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, Tua, and Jordan Love. $1.2 billion. That is nuts. Let's talk about it. Let's hear what you got to say.
I mean, geez, Packers making Jordan Love the highest paid QB in NFL history is something I did not expect. That's wild.
I did not expect that either.
That's wild. As a Bears fan, I hope it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, he won a playoff game against
He won a playoff
Dallas
game against
on the road
Dallas team.
And then he really held in against the 49ers, again, on the road.
I wouldn't say he really held in. I would say he played subpar in that game. Even though the 49ers were great. But that's crazy. Highest paid quarterback in NFL history. I mean, this is the state of the league at this point, though.
Oh, yeah, you just...
Every offseason,
quarterback's everything.
Every offseason, there's going to be a new player that's the new highest paid.
Yeah, running backs get ran through the little hamster wheel, thrown out, and it's just... constructing a roster in the NFL seems so difficult.
Look, I understand it, though. If you, like Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love's been there for, maybe like 4 years now at this point?
Wasn't this a first-year starter?
Well, but he's been on the Packers. He's been in that organization.
Yeah.
For, I think 4 years, yeah. He sat, or maybe 3. Maybe this was his 3rd year. He sat 2 years and then played. But I get the point where it's like, okay, he's been in the system with Matt LaFleur for X amount of years. He's comfortable. He's learned it in and out.
He looks good.
So they got their guy. You know, I'm not going to say he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't think anybody thinks that. But if you're in the right situation, like Brock Purdy, like we talked about last week.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're in the right situation, the playbook works for you, the team around you, you play well with the team around you, then pay the guy.
Just the highest paid ever. I mean, that's something
crazy.
that continuously gets like... You literally see Jordan Love be like, all right, we're talking about contracts. He's like, I'm going to wait till this next guy gets paid. And then it's, let me one-up him. And then someone's going to one-up him. And then it's going to turn up to the $300 million man.
Crazy.
I don't know. It's just
it's
all
nuts.
These deals. It's like even the Cowboys. Like how do you as Jerry Jones manage the Cowboys when, Micah Parsons wants to become the highest paid defensive player? And CeeDee Lamb's like, I'm going to hold out till I'm the highest paid wide receiver.
Well,
and then Dak Prescott's like, I want to be the highest paid quarterback.
Micah Parsons does deserve that contract, though.
CeeDee Lamb also deserves it. The odd man out is I just have a hard time justifying $40 million a year plus for Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, at least Tony Romo back in those days, he's like, you know what? I'll take a pay cut. He took pay cuts. Yeah. Tom Brady took pay cuts. Patrick Mahomes take pay cuts.
Yeah.
Like all these good players take pay cuts.
Can't help it.
I can't. It's my vocabulary, man.
Well, he gets talking about the Cowboys and he just gets riled up. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because it's like all these guys need this much money. It's like, man, go find some endorsements. Like, do you want to win a championship or not? Are you okay just getting bounced out the first round year after year after year?
Okay, so I did see something today how Dak Prescott, he's like upset, blah blah blah. He seems to always be upset, but. He said today, he goes, yeah, direct quote from his mouth. He said, all of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history seem to have played for multiple teams, so we'll see where that,
All the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history all seem to have won a championship and actually have playoff wins and not get bounced out first round almost year after year.
Dak Prescott.
I like Dak Prescott.
Fun game. We have all these high-paid guys. We're going to say if they're elite or not. Ready?
You go first.
Jordan Love.
Elite.
You say he's elite. What's your baseline for elite? Who's like the bottom tier elite?
Let's establish it. Let's just bounce some names off.
Yeah. Tua Tagovailoa.
No.
Not elite.
No. Tyreek Hill makes him look elite. But the thing is, when they play a good defense, when they play good defense, he looks like he's above average. He's a good quarterback, but he's not elite.
Okay.
Elite quarterbacks, they make some noise in the playoffs.
I understand that.
Jordan Love did. His first year as a starter, he made some noise.
He beat a struggling Cowboys team. And then he looked bad against the 49ers, who were an elite team. Brock Purdy. Tread carefully.
I wouldn't say elite, but I'd say definitely above average.
Okay.
I don't know how... I don't think there's many elite quarterbacks in the league.
Okay, ready? Who's ranked higher? Jordan Love or Justin Herbert?
That's a tough one because the roster built around Justin Herbert is so atrocious, but I think Justin Herbert is better.
Okay.
I like Jordan Love.
Didn't he become the highest paid quarterback last year?
It's someone every year, man.
Yeah.
Like it's like we're all gonna forget Jordan Love was the highest paid quarterback when like Dak Prescott gets paid in like a week or two. I don't know.
Yeah. So, Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert?
Who I would rather have?
Yeah.
Justin Herbert.
Exactly. Justin Herbert or Caleb Williams?
Based off ceiling or right now?
You have to factor in everything.
Based on right now, Justin Herbert. Based off ceiling, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams hasn't played a snap, so I hold that.
He has not played a snap. No, he has not.
I like Caleb Williams. I think he's going to be very, very good. But the thing is, Herbert, what I've seen from him, but it's also just like, I don't know, the coaching with that. Who is their guy? Staley.
The last couple years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy is one of the worst coaches I've ever seen in NFL history.
He was not good.
Dude, they blew that huge lead against Jacksonville. It's like, I understand you make offensive mistakes, but it's like...
insane.
Yeah, I turned the game off at halftime. I'm like, cool, Chargers make second round. And I'm like, oh my God.
Okay, Jordan Love or Trevor Lawrence?
Jordan Love.
Interesting.
I didn't even have to think about it.
So, all right. Trevor Lawrence or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott.
See, I would go Trevor Lawrence.
I don't think so.
I don't think Dak Prescott has any more room to grow. I think he's at his ceiling, or he's reached his ceiling already, and he's not going to get back up there.
He's still very good at what he's at right now, though. That's the thing.
Eh.
I think Dak's a top 10 quarterback. I don't even think that's up for debate. I think he's 8 through 10, though.
Last year he was, for sure. Going season by season.
The year he broke his leg, he had the most passing yards and touchdowns in the league before he broke his leg.
Mm-hmm.
Dak had better stats than Lamar.
I know he did. You brought that up
minus
quite often.
rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But rushing does matter.
Not for quarterbacking, I don't think.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, yeah, for the grand scheme of
The
what's
grand
your offensive numbers.
Isn't it all about the grand scheme, though?
What about Tom Brady? Did his rushing numbers
No,
matter?
it didn't, but he
knew
was
how
so-
to manage a game like no one
I
else
understand
ever did
that.
in NFL.
He didn't have to, but like Lamar Jackson does not have the passing abilities of Tom Brady, but he has that other factor where Tom Brady did not have.
Aiden O'Connell, Justin Fields.
I would rather have Justin Fields for
I would
sure.
have Aiden O'Connell.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
This guy likes a classic quarterback. He likes his quarterback to be immobile and sit in the pocket.
No.
No, that's exactly what he just said.
So Patrick Mahomes, for instance, Patrick Mahomes. That guy throws the ball like no one else in the league. But the thing is, Caleb Williams has this ability
can't
from what I've
always
seen in
have-
college.
yeah.
But my thing is this. It's sometimes I understand when you scramble out to the right side of the field and you have open running room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe sometimes it's a good thing to take off and run. There's some guys who only take off, tuck the ball, and run. And then there's that guy who has that X factor where they could take a step, scan left through right on the field, and if there's an open throw, they're hitting that guy for a huge play before they take off.
Yep.
And that is the difference between a quarterback who's going to win you more games. And that's the thing. It's like, sure, Lamar could run a lot. I understand. He's very good. You want him on your team. Top 10 quarterback, obviously. But Patrick Mahomes is number one because he has that ability where he runs when he needs it. Like, say you need 3 yards to get a first down and fourth down. Mahomes runs and takes it. But say it's second down and 3, like, he could get the first down, but he's going to scan the field. Caleb Williams did that all the time in college, too.
Which is why he's very exciting.
Yeah, exactly. It's the fine line of when, like, just knowing how to make the bigger play. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Feed me something else now.
I think it's your turn to feed me. I think I need to be fed.
Let's go.
I'm hungry.
Matthew Stafford. When he's been very healthy, Matthew Stafford versus...
You can't just say that, though.
Last year Matthew Stafford was healthy.
But you can't just be like, okay, Matthew Stafford when he's healthy. It's like you have to factor in everything when you're putting these guys.
Well, Matthew Stafford's been healthy most of his career, yeah.
I know he has been most of his career.
Here's the thing. Last year, the Rams looked completely out of it. Stafford was hurt, and then they went on
you didn't even give me the other guy.
They went on a tear. All right, Matthew Stafford versus Josh Allen.
Josh Allen, dude.
I disagree with you heavily.
How many more years does Matthew Stafford have in the league?
That's not my point.
But that is
right now, you're on a fantasy football team.
This is what I'm factoring. I would rather have Josh Allen for sure.
All right, fantasy football's the wrong thing to say because rushing yards do hold. They do hold some weight.
I would rather have Josh Allen.
Okay. Let's say this.
Okay.
You ever play a Madden franchise with your buddies over the course of the season? And you do like a fantasy draft where like you take every individual like player position.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So say you're playing that where fantasy points for fantasy football don't matter. I'm taking Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
In that immediate situation over Josh Allen.
That's crazy.
I don't think so.
I think it's crazy. But this is what I'm saying, like how I view ranking a guy above another. I'm factoring in everything. I'm factoring in all of his abilities, his age. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, how old is Matthew Stafford? He's probably like 35.
I feel like he's like 37. Let's get you.
He's old. He probably has 2 more good years left in the NFL, if that. So I have my team. I'm building my
36.
team. He's 36 years old. I have my team. I want Josh Allen.
For you. I got a banger for you. Matthew Stafford or Kirk Cousins?
See, how old is Kirk Cousins?
35.
Yeah.
I have a clear, obvious answer. You know what I'm going to say. Think of playoff success, too.
I know.
Playoff success does play a factor into who you take.
Sure does. That's a real tough one.
I got a tough one after, too.
I don't know. I think I'm going for Kirky Chains.
That's crazy. All right, ready for my next one?
Yeah.
Jared Goff or Tua?
That's a tough one.
I do agree. I also will note that the Lions have a much better constructed roster than the Dolphins did do a lot on defense this offseason, though. So this is the true test.
Michael Gallup's abrupt retirement from the NFL caught many by
party foul.
Yeah, I tried to I pulled up a name of QBs. So I want to look at the middle tier guys and make them battle about them.
I don't know. I think I'm taking Tua.
Why?
Longevity.
Dude, Goff is 29 years old. Tua is 26. There's really longevity.
Goff is 29. That's crazy.
Yeah. And he's played in a Super Bowl.
All right, take it back. Give me Goff. I don't know why I feel like Goff's like 33.
He's been around for a while.
He has.
He's honestly been one of those guys as a number one pick where you want to say you're a little disappointed, but the thing is he's been a very good NFL player for a long time.
The Lions could win a Super Bowl.
I really wish they didn't blow that game.
The Lions can win a Super Bowl.
Dan Campbell, man, that guy, if you're playing blackjack, that guy says, hit me to the dealer when you got two... I almost slipped. When you got a king and a queen, you got 20 right in front of you, Dan Campbell says, hit me.
For an ace, he wants the 21.
Yeah.
Don't do that. If you're at the casino and you have 2 face cards, don't hit it.
All right, what about... we got to get a guy in here. Kyler Murray. Let's spin the wheel.
Yeah,
let's really
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Kyler Murray or Trevor Lawrence? I feel like that's kind of a tough one.
That's a tough one.
I still got to think about that.
I think I'm going for Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I think I'm going for Kyler Murray.
Yeah, I'm not against that one either. I think Kyler Murray's a guy that just because the situations... He tore his ACL recently, right? Isn't that why he's been out?
Well, last year he barely played at all. But when he did play last year at the end of the season, he looked pretty good.
Yeah. Athlete. First round draft pick in the MLB, too.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. I mean, yeah, he's short king. Yeah, give me Kyler in that one.
Okay. CJ Stroud.
Stroud boys.
Jordan Love.
Stroud boys, stand up.
Interesting. I don't even want to say Patrick Mahomes because I really don't think there's anyone you could say over a guy like that.
Yeah.
I think Patrick Mahomes is the undisputed number one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
And it's ridiculous if anyone ever tells you that Patrick Mahomes is not the number one.
After this season, though.
Ooh.
After this season, Caleb Williams
I think he gets his way up until the top 10.
I think he does.
What about this? Baker Mayfield's and Geno Smith. Now that's a tough...
I'm taking Baker.
I'm
taking Baker.
I think I got to agree with you on that. I think that's
I'm
not
100%
an easy
taking
decision,
Baker.
though.
I don't know. I think it's kind of easy. I'm taking Baker Mayfield. And, that's that.
Yeah, he's meeting with our sponsors behind the camera right now. Oh, and back onto baseball. I look to the left, and the Kansas City Royals are beating the Cubs 6-0. So, I mean, this game's already probably finaled, and it's 1,000,000,000, but, I mean, it's...
Whatever.
This is what we see right now.
One more, and then we're moving on from football.
Sam Darnold is now a starting quarterback in the NFL.
For the Vikings.
Yeah. J.J. McCarthy, I think he's going to be a bust. But Sam Darnold...
Well, you think that Michael Penix is going to be better than J.J. McCarthy, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that like a...
I feel like it's
Am I supposed to get booed?
I think that's a questionable take. I mean, obviously with rookie quarterbacks, you never know. You truly never know.
Let's go. Sam Darnold or Bryce Young?
Bryce Young. Ceiling. Dude, the Panthers were so bad last year.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Like,
They were terrible.
he could not have been in a worse spot. So, David Tepper, maybe the worst owner in all of sports.
You see the video of him?
I've seen a lot of videos of David Tepper.
I got a friend who's a Panthers fan, and I always chirp him about this. And there's a video of David Tepper, the owner of the Panthers,
Dumping a drink.
No, not even dumping the... That's another
Dumped
story.
a drink on
But this
somebody.
guy goes into a bar in Carolina where they said everyone's allowed but David Tepper, and they basically chirped him saying, like, whatever. And he came into the restaurant, the bar, and he confronted them about the sign they had up front. I'll find you the info about it.
I did see that.
I want to tell you guys exactly what it said, though, because that's not something you could just, like, pull off the brain. You know what I mean? But what's your opinion on that while I look?
Can't pull it from the dome. What, going into that bar?
Yeah.
Dude, here's my opinion. David Tepper, you are a very rich man. Why are you dealing with that? Just go live your life. Go to Cabo.
Oh, I got it.
Go hang out in Mexico. You can go wherever the hell you want. Why are you gonna go to a dive bar that says you're not allowed there?
It's not even a dive. I mean, it looks like a restaurant kind of bar, but it's actually pretty funny and really writes what they said. They criticized them for their draft strategy when they had the number 1 overall pick.
Sure.
And what they said was, please let the coach and GM pick this year. We want CJ Stroud. And instead, they took Bryce Young over CJ Stroud.
Yeah. Boy, am I glad the Bears gave up that pick. Boy, am I glad. Boy, am I glad.
DJ Moore. How does that trade look now to you? It looks like a fleecing by the Bears.
Oh, dude, I don't think anybody could say otherwise. Unless, like, Bryce Young has a, MVP-type campaign over the next couple of years, but...
You guys got a lot of good guys from it. What was the exact trade when you, like, really looked at it?
We got DJ Moore. We got our right tackle of the future, Darnell Wright.
Mm-hmm.
We got a starting cornerback of the future, Tyreek Stevenson. That was last year.
Yep,
and then we got the first pick this year. We got Caleb Williams. Throw Caleb Williams into that package because that's what we got. And I believe we got a second-round pick, but we traded that for Chase Claypool.
Chase Claypool's funny.
But
you guys also drafted the best punter in all of football immediately. You
a
had the
hype
immediate
man.
number 1 punter.
That guy's going to be a absolute shining star on Hard Knocks.
An Australian punter.
Go to a Bears game. You will see the most punter jerseys you've ever seen in your life at a game. Like, he's an Australian punter. That's awesome. That's so cool. But yeah, I mean, we sorry Carolina, we fleeced you. Ryan Poles, magic.
Ryan Poles is a very good GM.
Oh, it sure looks like
Ever
it.
since he got into the organization, whenever it was, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that guy has made some good moves.
He's doing really
My
good.
thing is everyone roots for the underdog. I always hated on the Bears just because of how incompetent their front office was year after year after year. making every wrong decision, throwing everyone under the bus. It was just terrible.
We've been in quarterback hell for legitimately since we won a Super Bowl. We've been in quarterback hell.
Yeah, Jay Cutler was the best you've had since, and the only thing that he encapsulates is the misery Bears fans felt with that picture of him with the cigarette in his mouth.
That's not a real picture, but
I thought it was him. Like it wasn't in a uniform. I thought it was him outside.
I'm pretty sure it's a fake
and they photoshopped his face onto his pads.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
But the meme lives on.
Anyways, Jay Cutler, love you, buddy.
Yeah.
But then we went to Mitch Trubisky, and Mitch Trubisky's a great backup quarterback.
You drafted him second overall while Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes were on the board.
I know.
But you chose Mitch Trubisky.
I didn't choose
That's
him.
exactly why you didn't. I know that. I'm just saying that's exactly why I hated the Bears.
Yeah,
because it's like what is wrong with you? In what world is Mitch Trubisky the right number 2 pick?
Yeah.
I got people who still. I got a friend. I think we know who we're talking about, and he would always argue like, "Oh, all these draft analysts said Mitch Trubisky's right." It's like anyone with common sense knows Mitch Trubisky should not have been the second overall pick. It's ridiculous.
You know what? He made a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he also won the Nickelodeon MVP.
That's shout out to Big Cat for that. That's the
awesome.
only reason he won the Nickelodeon.
That's awesome. That's so awesome.
He just got on Twitter. He goes, "Everybody, go vote for your boy Mitch Trubisky for the the slime MVP," and he won it. Even
slime MVP.
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah. So that's what we pretty much got for football and baseball. In world news, we're gonna take it to our worldwide, Mr. Worldwide, Pitbull himself.
I am Mr. Worldwide.
Talking about the Olympics.
Yeah, the Olympics. I'm wearing my South African Rugby World Champion t-shirt right now.
Tell them where you're from.
South Africa.
Elaborate. They probably don't know what you're talking about.
South Africa, the country in the southernmost part of Africa.
No, I know that part. I'm just saying, like, what significance? What does South Africa mean to you?
South Africa, what does it mean to me?
Yeah.
We are the current standing back to back.
Just say you were born there. That's what I'm trying to get you to say.
We are this back to back.
You're just saying everything but you. He was born in South Africa. That's the point I'm trying to make.
We're the back to back Rugby World Cup champions. We're gonna represent in the Olympics. We've already Rugby Sevens is another format of rugby. So back in, I believe it was November, October, I got all the boys over to watch the Rugby World Cup.
We had a scrum.
We had a scrum. We scrummed. If you don't know what that is, look it up right now. Scrum.
Incognito tab.
No, don't incognito it because it's awesome. It's awesome. Scrumming is cool.
After a long, hard day of work, I love to scrum.
You love to scrum. But yeah. I had all the boys over. We were playing New Zealand in the final, and we won by 1 point. So we retained the championship. We actually won the quarterfinal. Quarterfinal versus France, semifinal versus England, and then the final by New Zealand by a combined total of 3 points. So we won 3 games in a row by 1 point. What a run. South Africa, shout out, represent. But we are already in the semifinals for the Rugby Sevens in the Olympics. Like soccer and rugby, since they're, they do like the group stages stuff. They start the games a little bit early, so they started on like Wednesday. And Rugby Sevens is just a slightly different format of rugby, where it's just 7v7, quick 10-minute halves. And yeah, we're in the semifinals already, so represent. We'll play tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning, against France, the hosts. We're going to beat them, and we're going to go to the finals, and we're going to win gold.
France sucks. I hate France as a country.
France is good at rugby, though, so it's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
France is the best rugby player in the world. And then, so that's what's going on.
You know what they're good at, France? They're good at opening Olympic ceremonies.
Are they?
No.
So yeah, I watched the opening ceremonies today. What was really going on there?
It wasn't about sports at all. It was about political agendas, and it's just stupid because that's what half of everything is about. It's just a sport that everyone wants to watch, where everyone in the world gathers, and they got to do some weird shit. That's just as simple as what it is.
I mean, I said to like multiple people, I'm like,
they mocked Christianity just on like live TV. It's like
they did do that.
It's weird. It's so weird.
But they also had like the classic, athlete parade. They're all walking out.
Those are so.
This
cool.
time they had them on boats, floating down the river, and the part that okay, that's different, I guess. But the part I didn't like was like they had countries grouped together, so like you'll have like Iran, Iraq, and Ireland on the same boat. Like I'm just like give every country their own boat. You know what I mean? Even if you only have 4 athletes, just give them their own boat.
That'd be a lot of boats.
I understand that there already was a lot of boats.
Well, yeah.
Okay, don't do boats. Like, have them walk. They're all athletes; they can walk. But anyways, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Lady Gaga performed. She's a class act as always.
I enjoy Lady Gaga.
But yeah, there was like this masked guy, like running through the streets with the torch the whole time, and I didn't really understand that. But other than that, it's just the opening ceremony. Whatever. We had LeBron carrying the American flag.
He's so funny. He doesn't try to be, but he's so funny.
La D-Day.
La D-Day. What was
Back on French soil, storming the beaches. La D-Day. LeBron.
What was the thing with all the people in like drag? Like, what was that?
Yeah.
I didn't even actually watch it. That's what I saw on Twitter, and I watched the whole video. I'm like, what does this have to do with the Olympics?
Exactly. So my whole takeaway from the Olympics...
No hate on people who enjoy that.
No,
it's just
not at all.
When you're putting it on something that's very sport related,
yeah,
it doesn't make sense.
That's my whole point. It's like,
yeah,
the Olympics is about sports.
Do whatever you want. Like, who cares? But like,
the Olympics is about athletes competing for the country, trying to win gold medals in their respective field of sport. The Olympic opening ceremony seemed to forget that it was a sports event. That's my whole point. It's like...
Exactly. It's just...
So that was my whole thing. I'm like, come on. Make it more sport. I mean, it's about sports. Yeah, like Mike Tirico kept saying, like, there's nothing like the Olympics that brings the world together. Because it literally is a worldwide event. And if you win, you are the world champion. So make it about that. Make it about bringing the whole world together. Make it about bringing the whole world together through sports. Mm-hmm. That's what the Olympics is all about. And I didn't really feel that from the opening ceremony.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot of things where people try to push.
I don't know, man. Like,
people just try to push things that are unrelated. Like, I understand you want to push things to try to make them more, like, socially acceptable and people getting more, in tune and understanding. But my thing I like to say is there's a time and a place.
Right. It's the
Olympics.
What I
mean? Like, you ever play Pokemon and you try to hit that Y button and you get on your bike inside? And remember, Professor Rowan's words echoed. There's a time and a place. So the point being for that is, it's just like there's times where that makes sense. And it's like, okay, this is the right place, the right audience to say this. And then there's times where like people are looking forward and enjoying something and you throw that on them. And all that does is cause more chaos because it pisses people off. And it's like, I don't know. It's like timing is a lot for a message.
Right. Exactly. So, whatever. I don't really care about... I mean, realistically, it's the opening ceremony. Mm-hmm. What I care about is the games themselves. Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. We're the full kickoff tomorrow, so that'll be cool. I mean, they did have cool parts of the ceremony. Like, at the end, when that weird masked fellow with like a hood on, he was like riding. I don't know. It was weird. You have to if you haven't seen it. Like, I'm sure you've seen clips on Twitter by now. But like, he's literally wearing like, or it might have been a woman. I don't know. Like this full armor, like silver armor, riding a horse with the torch, and then she gets off the horse and she's like walking across the stage. That was a cool part because then all the countries and their flags like followed behind her. So that was cool.
That was cool.
But besides that, I was just like, there's just too much going on in this. Like, come on. Where's the sports?
Yeah. Everyone has something to say.
I understand that.
As I said, the timing, a good analogy for that is, say we're sitting here with a third buddy, and he gets shot in the chest, and he's about to die. And he's not dead yet. And I put my hand on you. I'm like, I'm sorry for your loss. It just doesn't fucking make sense.
That is one of the crazier things I've ever heard.
It's extreme, though.
This is such an extreme example. Does it not make
sense, though? It makes sense.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sure.
But besides
the
that,
Yaki way.
we've had a couple Olympic events going on already. As I said, soccer and rugby have started their group stage play already.
Who's your favorite for soccer?
So, in case
I know
you
your
didn't
rugby one. You already won
I know.
on it.
So-
I'm South Africa too. Come on now.
Let's go, baby. Springboks represent. Cheers, South Africa.
Sure.
Amen.
To scrums.
To scrums.
What about soccer? Who we liking?
So the thing about soccer in the Olympics is for the men's teams, it's U23 teams. So it's not like the national team. So there's like Messi and Ronaldo are not playing in the Olympics.
Under 23?
Under 23.
What if you are 23?
So you can play. And then I believe they get like 3 exceptions. So they can choose 3 players who are over the age limit that can be on the
LeBron?
team. No, that's basketball's different.
I know.
Basketball's
I'm making a
different.
joke.
Basketball's different. Like soccer, it's
Trying to
it's
educate me.
U23.
Like, no, they're different sports, man.
So-
I know.
You have to have everybody on your roster besides 3 or so players that are under the age of 23 or under.
What are the exceptions, though?
You get to whoever.
So, like, Messi could be one, technically?
Yeah, he could, but he'd never do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Because it's just disrespectful to what it is.
It's not disrespectful. Like, there are some big names. Like, for example, Morocco. Like, they have this really good player who's, like, on one of the best teams in Europe, PSG, Ashraf Hakimi. But he's probably the best player in the tournament. But because he plays for, like, a small country, like, you know what I mean, an African country like that, like, he's doing it. So I'm sure a lot of players want to do it, but also at the same time, their club teams don't want them to do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kind of, yeah. So it just depends.
Like flag football,
Right.
emphasize the L.
Right, flag football. You know, I'm sure NFL players did want to participate, but their teams did not want them to.
Dude, they said it everywhere.
Yeah. So, for soccer, though, my favorite, I don't know, probably France, honestly. Like, France has a lot of young talent.
Mbappe, how old's Mbappe?
Mbappe's not on the team.
How old is he, though?
He actually might be under the age limit, but, like, that's what I'm saying.
Mbappe's
It's like-
young, no?
Mbappe is 25, but he's not on the team. So, I don't know. France kicked the U.S. butts in the first game. The U.S. lost 3-0. I mean, yeah. I want U.S. to win. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
But
Well, when they waved their white flags in World War II, we saved them, so.
we did. But
Get
soccer,
back, France.
like, Olympic soccer is cool, but I'm not, like, all in on it. Women's soccer, different, though. Like, that's, like, the national teams. Mallory Swanson, Dansby Swanson's wife.
Well, they're
scored,
actually good compared to the men's team.
like, U.S. women versus U.S. men.
Yeah, the U.S. women's team is, like, light years better than the men's team.
Well,
In the grand scheme of, like,
in
the
their
world.
respective sports.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
yes.
I'm not
Sure.
saying they would beat the number.
No.
The women's team wouldn't even beat the men's team.
No, they would not. But
no hate, no
no
disrespect.
hate. That
but,
is,
like,
it's
it's
just facts. But yeah, Mallory Swanson, wife of Dansby Swanson, scored 2 goals in the U.S. Women's
Isn't
opener.
Zach Ertz? Isn't his wife on
Julie
that?
Ertz.
Yeah, isn't
I
she
don't know
on
if
the
she's
team?
on the Olympic team, but
I know
it's different.
she's a professional.
It's different for the women. Like they bring their their best players to the Olympics.
What is her name?
Julie Ertz,
No. The blonde hair.
Megan Rapinoe.
Wood. Buddy old boy old guy old pal had a few too many of our sponsored old styles and went on the Twitter and just tweeted Megan Rapinoe. Wood.
Who did that?
You did.
I did that.
I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure.
remember
you-
that.
Well, then that's the whole thing. You didn't remember. Our sponsor works well, so go check them
Yeah,
out.
go
And,
check out Old
a
Style
bar or tavern or liquor store near you.
or liquor store, Mariano's, Kroger, Target, Walmart. Get yourself some Old Style.
The random place over there.
The bodega.
I just walked in. I said hi.
Go to the bodega.
A soft hi.
A soft tie. But besides that, there is already some news. Even though the Olympic ceremonies started today, we have had some controversy, some controversy.
Uh-oh.
The Canada women's soccer coach has been relieved of her duties after she was caught using a drone to spy on opposing teams' practices. Crazy. What the heck? Like, that's insane.
Channeling her inner Bill Belichick.
Like, that's nuts. Channeling her inner Harbaugh.
Oh my God. Maybe she was the person. So remember Bill Belichick left that girl's house on that Ring camera? Maybe it was her. Maybe they were having a meeting getting ready for this.
It might have been her.
Could have been.
That is potential. That is probable. But yeah, like, what are we doing? Come on. Have some integrity for the game. Just play the game. Beat the team. May the best team win, you know?
Yeah, just shut up and dribble.
Don't. He's talking about basketball. He's talking about Ladide.
Ladide's so funny.
But yeah, that's crazy. Like, come on, let's have some integrity. May the best team win. Why you got to do that? Now if your team wins, you're gonna be out of it. You're not gonna get.
Now there's an asterisk over it.
There's a bubble. You're in a bubble basically.
Yeah, you're cooked
It's a bubble
out.
championship. It's like the Houston Astros.
Terrible.
Other than that,
I wouldn't get caught.
we have the Canada women's team spying, and then the Argentina men's team was robbed. They were burglarized prior to their first match versus Morocco. So yeah, already some drama in the world of the Olympics. So off to a hot start.
Yeah.
Off to a very hot start.
And looks like that's about the last thing we got to say.
Yeah, just about. I mean, Olympics really start ramping up tomorrow. All the cool events going to be on TV all day, so enjoy those. We'll be watching. I'm sure we'll have some storylines coming up. Noah Lyles going for his third gold medal. Ladide going for, I don't even know how many medals he's got.
Too many.
Ladide.
One day, Sperm is going to be on the team. Sperm.
LeBron.
Dude, it's so funny his name's LeBron because you just did "le" in front of everything.
I know. But yeah, let's go USA. Let's rack up those medals. Let's win the medal count again and show.
Go South Africa.
Let's go South Africa
For the rugby fellas.
Come on, the big game tomorrow morning, 8:30. Tune in.
Hi, Cody.
Hi, Cody. Cody is one of my best friends.
Should we dox him?
No, we shouldn't dox him. Cody's one of my best friends, and
You're lucky.
He's been a quality, steady, constant viewer.
Yeah, he's a fan.
He's a fan. So we love our fans, and Cody, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's gonna conclude episode 3 of Behind the Banter. As I said, very exciting. I felt it was. But if you have anything you want to see us talk about, suggestions, go ahead and comment some things you're looking forward to.
Please.
Comment some trade deadline predictions, or as well as just some NFL predictions. We read comments, we'll respond to you, everything. Appreciate the fellas for tuning in, and let's have a banterful rest of your day.